Hello, Flame Fatale's Games Committee. This is AER Memories of Old. It's an absolutely gorgeous game with a beautiful world and exceptionally good lore behind it. The first time we played this, took us to an amazing place, and it's a very meditative game. We spent 5 to 10 hours researching the lore for this commentary. We read the entire script, made notes, read the script again, made more notes, and it's been an adventure. And we're so happy that we took the time to look into the lore, because the game really deserves it. So here we are. We hope to bring you not just a speedrun, but the tale of this world. Sing of the great dreamer that sleeps in eternity. May she dream of good times forever and ever. In the beginning, there was the dreamer. One second. We need to switch our keyboard to QWERTY. This game does not like Dvorak. Sing of the great dreamer. Sing of the great dreamer. Sing of the great dreamer that sleeps in eternity. May she dream of good times forever and ever. In the beginning, there was a dreamer. Asleep in cold eternity, she dreamed all there is. First, she created the Creator. From stardust into eternity, the Creator made gods to walk the lands and look after the world. His only weakness was his tender spot for your kind, little human. To create you, he linked his heart to yours, but your hearts grew empty. After humans were created, there was a meeting of spirit animals. Help them? Help them? The other animals looked stunned. Yes, the fox said. But did we just know? It's an adventure trying to read and commentate at the same time. Their minds, yes, the fox said, their minds see eternity, and they are lost and afraid. The spirit fox proposed a pact with a human, and formed a pact with a human. The chosen are called whisperers, and they can take the form of their spirit animals. We are about to pick up Kara's lantern. And our spirit, it is shining for the first time in a generation. Our spirit is an animal. Our spirit animal is a bird, just like Kara's. And we are going on a pilgrimage. Only the birds make pilgrimages, and we are going to be making the same pilgrimage as Kara, to see gods at 3 temples. Once upon a time, there are many spirit animals in the world. Some have shrines and are long gone. Some are still in this world. The fox will call this world empty compared to what it used to be. And the spirit fish, as his last gift, gave waters that never stopped flowing. So with that, we will take our lantern, which illuminates everything, and get out of this cave. Coming up is going to be the first skip of the run. There's a slope that you are just able to jump up, right over here. So with this we'll just be able to jump up and walk off the cave very easily. Once long ago, the world was whole. And then there was a cataclysmic event called the Great Divide, which shattered the world. Kara's lantern guided the people when the world shattered and the humans became the people of the sky. The islands that you were about to see became a thing and during the Great Divide. It's an absolutely beautiful world that you can lose yourself into. And as our spirit animal is a bird, we can just transform into a bird and take flight. The ancients caused the Great Divide and created the world as it appears today. The Creator's Shrine appeared in the center of the world, and from it cracks spread across the world. Afterwards, only one place seemed calm, the lighthouse. It was surrounded by a golden shimmer that warmed and soothed me. I saw the priestess Kara pass me by, weeping. She held an important lantern key, such as they make in the city of Urza, but the lantern was dead. The shimmer came from Kara herself, dwindling as I... So with the lantern out, we can interact with these squares, which is going to be a common mechanic throughout the game. The shimmer came from Kara herself, dwindling as I watched. Spirit animals surrounded the lighthouse watching. When Kara came to them, they bowed their head and then left as if... We must fly through these 3 circles now to open up the cave. When Kara came to them, the spirit animals bowed their head and then left as if in an unspoken signal. I found my voice and asked, "What has happened to the world, Kara?" She was silent for a moment, and they said, "A great danger has gone, but also a great light. And now, the void has reawoken to devour the world." Kara hid 3 fragments of great power. Did we miss one? What did we... We must have missed the 3rd one. No worries. And there you saw a ghost. With a lantern you can see ghosts, memories of the past. Kara hid... The void has reawoken to devour the world. Kara hid 3 fragments of power, 1 in each temple, and we need to recombine them. There was 1 caretaker at each temple, a god, and we will go and see each of them. We must use them to end what was started long ago. Now there are 3 temples which we must go to. For each of them we need a key to get into them. So we were in the very, very first place in the underworld. And we're going to do our best just to go through it as quickly as possible. The underworld is absolutely gorgeous. Everything about this game is gorgeous. And the light colors that you're going to see here are just absolutely beautiful. There are 2 categories for this game. No major glitches and with major glitches. And what major glitches mean is that you're not supposed to be able to get bird form in these caves. But there is a way to glitch your way into it. And major glitches takes advantage of that. We are going to be showing off as much of the game as possible. So we are going to be running no major glitches. Here we're going to wait on this a little bit longer to make a jump further to the left. Like so. And we're going to just take advantage of this platform to hop right up here. Very nicely done. We made the cycle. This is the first time that we've ever made the cycle. We are super excited. So now we must get to the center. And with this, we're going to close one of the rifts of void. And with that, the black rocks around the spirit deer will fade. And they will be released. This deer thinks that you are Kara at first and asks you to close the rift. This deer has held the key for many, many generations, and it is what it protected the most, and now I give it to you so you can open the temples. This deer was attacked by Kuroku's men. Kuroku was a human who declared himself to be a god king. And as humans, they declared war, fought battles, and drifted away from the spirits and the gods. And this fox gives you an interesting riddle. How come temples lead downward when people look up to the sky for answers? And we are about to hit our first temple, which means that we will be making our second journey down. This is going to be our very first temple. And what you're going to see next is going to be our first overworld warp. There are going to be 3 overworld warps that we use in there. When you go out of bounds, generally by going too low, the game will warp you back to a close save point, to the closest respawn point, and we're going to be using this to teleport ourselves much further into the game. So with that, we've teleported ourselves way far to the east, and now we are at the archives. We use our lantern to open it, and enter our first temple. The god that we are going to be meeting here is the Keeper of Dreams. When the creator made the humans, the Keeper of Dreams came forward and stood guard. He saw the link between the great dreamer and eternity. Humans carried nightmares in them, and the Keeper of Dreams put them onto scrolls and kept them safe. Forbidden scrolls that no one should ever see. Emmett Raid! How are you doing, Emmett? Hope that you're doing amazingly. Hope that everybody from Emmett's stream is doing amazingly. We are in the middle of a submission video, so we might not be as interactive with chat as we normally are. And as the fox asked, why do temples lead downward? So this is the first temple. No major glitches means that we are not going to be taking bird form, so we're going to be doing this temple as intended. First we're going to jump down this way, and try and land on a platform in the center. Very nicely done. And this is going to be the first switch that we hit in this dungeon. Next, we're going to hit that switch in front of that door and continue around. The end goal of this temple is to try to... hit 3 keys. There are three keys that we have to do to open the lock to the Keeper of Dreams. This is an elevator which will take us straight up. And in this room, we must lower the gates. First the outer one, then the inner one. One of the interesting things about this game is that you can freely switch between keyboard and mouse. So we're going to be using keyboard and mouse for the underworld because it gives us better control. But we like a controller for flying it as a bird, so we're going to be doing that there. Here we need to do a pretty precise jump and try and just land on that platform. So here's to hoping. Excellent. Having the lantern on very much so helps us see where we're going. And this should be the first of the 3 keys. And there we go. 1 out of 3. Stuff for GDQ's women only marathon. We will be submitting this to GDQ too. Either this submission video or something else. So now we continue on. In this room, there are a bunch of gears, and we'll be jumping from gear to gear. No, we're 1 room away from that. In this room, we kind of take a long dive out to the right. And luckily, we don't need to land on the narrow platform. We can just fall all the way. And now we are getting very close to gears. This was used by humans as a mine to try and mine air. The game never actually explains what air is. It only appears twice in the script, both by ghosts in this temple, talking about trying to mine it. That was close, but we take them. Now that one makes that gear start going up and down, which allows us to get to the next key. Make the cycle. Falling here is actually perfectly fine. That'll put us over here, which is closer to the gear moving up and down. We absolutely love the lighting in this game. Love the way that they play with shadows. This game is just so beautiful. This should be the second key. And now all we have to do is get to third key, which is very close to by the door. This also opens the exit. The temples are filled with shortcuts because you're expected to explore them and there's no set order to do them in. Do the pieces of the temples. So there's a lot of shortcuts. Like this opens the door back very close to the main room. In this room, we are going to fall down as fast as we can. And then we're going to see the door that we've been opening the keys to. And over to the right is the final key. This temple is very much so a show of how the humans went wrong. The bad things that the humans did, mining, trying to create war, and fight. And behind that door is the Keeper of Dreams, the first of the gods that we are going to be meeting. When the Creator made the humans, the Keeper of Dreams came forward and stood guard. He saw the link between the Great Dream and eternity. He is no longer able to protect humans once humans cease believing in him. He has been attempting to close the void rifts, but has run out of power as human faith has faded. Right now, the void is trying to escape its prison and eat away at the world. And we learn that the Creator had to sacrifice himself to lock away the ravenous void. And as the lands and skies were shattered in the Great Divide. The story is so complex and has so many layers, and you really have to just read the game's script to be able to put it all together. A lot of the story is hidden in little ghosts, so this is our second time seeing the void. The void that we must prevent from destroying the world. So now we have our first of the three keys, first of the three pieces that we must make whole. As we head towards the next temple, we'll talk about some lore that you can pick up along the way from the Spirit Bear, which you're not going to be seeing in the speedrun. So we're just going to be following this pipe, and we're going to be using the tip of a cloud as a cue to go out of bounds for a warp. The Creator saw the emptiness inside himself and ripped the void out of his heart. The Creator had split himself to lock away a void growing in his heart. The world crumbled. He had given Kara the task of keeping the pieces of his being safe. 3 fragments of great power, the void locked in its prison, and one last piece, his hopes, his dreams, and his love for the world and its beauty. It is said that the storm is a chant of life and death, sung by the souls of the dead as they fly from this world into eternity. when we die, our souls rejoin eternity, of which they were made. Our souls are stars that the Creator took and set in our hearts. And this is the cave with the next key. So from eternity, each time a child is born, a new star descends into its body and fills it with eternal light, until such a time as the body dies and becomes dust again, and the star flies back into the skies behind the veil to dream. When the gods left us, they went amidst the stars to search for a new home. And when they find it, there too we will be born again. In this cave, our goal is to step on all of these platforms, and that will cause the key to become available. And with that, the ice shatters and the key is visible. Everything about this game is just so beautiful and so wonderful. And this is our key to the second temple. The Northern Temple. We are headed to the roof of the world. An absolutely beautiful place where the storm stops and you can see the northern lights. Unfortunate fall, but not terrible. We can just walk around this way. And in this temple, Kara requested an audience with the god said to sleep there. She stayed there for 3 days and 3 nights. She left us without a word, but her face was sad, and I fear for her people. And for this temple, the bear froze the entrance to the temple shut and hid the key elsewhere when it became clear the world needed healing. The lore to this game is so beautiful. The story is so beautiful. Just wandering around this world is so beautiful. Flying through the clouds, just getting to see everything. It's just such an amazing game. We can recommend it so highly. This is our second temple, and there's going to be a precise set of jumps that we actually prefer to be on controller for, and then we're going to swap to keyboard during one of the cutscenes. So, like everything else in this game, this is just so beautiful. Everything in this game is absolutely beautiful. It's just such a great game. The left takes you back to the start. These temples have lots and lots of shortcuts, because you can do them in any order. So these are 6 pillars, and you have to light up certain ones of them to open the left and right doors. And we're going to be jumping on them in a way that combines them, so we can open both with a single set of jumps. And this is what we prefer controller for. It's much easier to control our jumps with the analog stick. And with that, we enter this area. An absolutely gorgeous bit of light. Middle one goes one to the right, right one goes one to the right. And that'll open the next door. We're doing this to extend a bridge, which will be needed to complete the end of the temple. And the reason why we run no major glitches of this is because we think the temples are some of the most beautiful parts of the game, and it would be a real shame to just fly to the end of the temple and finish off this temple in 30 seconds. So here's the bridge, what is absolutely required for the end. And with this temple, we just kind of rotate through towards the right. It's wonderfully routed. And behind here are beautiful, beautiful beams of light. And we need to hit a set of switches to make the beams of light continue to the end of the room. And then for the next one, we're actually going to need to sneak under the bridge and jump back onto it. A little tricky bit to figure out that took us a while. And here's the last one. With that, the light is going to the other side of the temple, opening the door to the end. There's a wonderful ice slide that we get to take out of here. We did not find this during casual playthrough, but it's just such a fun part of the game. So now with this, we make our way to the end of the temple. This is a little bit of a hidden thing. You have to actually climb over the rubble. All these temples are quite old and have not been opened in a while, so they have fallen a bit to the elements. Finding this part of it was probably the trickiest routing during our casual playthrough, and we love the atmosphere of this. It's a beautiful old temple where the snow has fallen in. This we don't need to hit this switch. That just opens a shortcut back in case we do this part of the temple before the other parts. And here's the bridge that we extended at the very beginning. These stairs are a huge reason why mouse and keyboard is great there for the temples, because you can very quickly do a 180. And this will open the end of the temple. The Watcher of the Veil. It's said that when the Creator made the world, he woke the gods to care for it. First swam the Watcher of the Veil, high in the skies, a mighty guardian against the black cult endlessness, forever singing soothing songs to the Great Dreamer, lest she awaken from the dream of our world. Forever a guardian of dreams and peace, a fighter and a hunter, trapping nightmares in his library of forbidden scrolls, a healer of sorts, singing about our world to the Great Dreamer, the center of our world, a light bringer and a passage maker, leading our minds to the realms of dream and back in rhythm with the tides of dusk and dawn. I am the Watcher of the Veil. I guard this world from eternity. There isn't much left of the first dream of the Great Dreamer. The Creator had to sacrifice himself to lock away the ravenous void, and the lands and skies were shattered in the Great Divide. And his last words? I am free. Each of these gods had an obligation, and to protect these pieces for when the void is trying to escape, and you are here freeing them from their obligations so that they may finally rest. So far we have done the second and third temple in a casual playthrough. We can do them in any order, but this is the most efficient route, looping around the world. And with this, we're going to be flying this way. We use the pillar of light in the sky, in the skylights, as our guide for which direction to go. So there are two ways to go out of bounds. One is to go down. The other is to go far left or the right. In this case, we need to go out of bounds to the right, because if we go down, we will get the wrong warp. So here we are looking for two clouds. The first is a claw cloud, and the second will just point us right out of bounds. So here, on the left, that is a claw cloud. You can see the tips of it form the shape of a claw. And this cloud has a tip which will point us directly out of bounds to where we need to go. And if we see a water ring moat around it, we did it right. This is Windsong Falls, another beautiful place in the world. A water spirit once combed her hair here. The wind sang to make her hair flow down until it mixed with the clouds. Thus the rainbow was born. And hitting both of these switches, we open up Windsong Falls, and we are able to grab the key to the sanctuary. This guardian, it holds the sun and the moon. And you'll see lots and lots of sun and moon symbolism throughout this entire segment. So we need to rotate this one 180. And the other one goes to the left once, creating the sun and the moon. Nope. That one goes to the right once, creating the sun and the moon, unlocking the key. And this is the key to the final temple. The last temple is Eventide Sanctuary. After the Great Divide, Kara led her people to there, and there they stayed safe until they could emerge again. This temple is going to be a bit simpler, because this is the one that you're intended to do first. Still gorgeous, the entire world's gorgeous. And at this point, the fox tells us to seek counsel from those who slumber. And here we will meet the Twilight Guardian. Here you want to go straight through this cloud and it'll take us to the lake. We want to actually show off what flying through clouds looks like because it's just such a beautiful... It's so beautiful. They did such a good job with all the graphics and the feel of this game. And this, we will use our last key to open the temple. Why do temples lead downwards when humans look to the sky? We'll catch up on chat after we finish this. We're very focused on the run, and with as much commentary notes as we have, we can't really follow chat and that at the same time. There are more ghosts. The lantern reveals them. This is the first time in many generations that Kara's lantern is glowing. We're going to take a little skip here. We're going to just jump from this rock to there. Nope. And now we're gonna do a little high jump off of this slope and try and just skip a bunch there. There we go. Surprisingly easy to pull off. The next thing we have here is a tightrope walk on this pipe. Very easy to fall, so we're going to be pretty careful. This is definitely one of the harder bits of platforming in the run. And that we'll be able to sneak directly across here and head down. Everything in this temple is based on the sun and the moon, and it is beautifully done. We're going to use this rock to skip a pillar. We're glad that worked. That was really close. There's a key over on the right that'll open up a shortcut. We don't really need it here. We're just gonna run up here. Now we're at the top. We're just gonna jump across. Very important not to fall here. One of the interesting mechanics is that you take a while to turn after you land. So you have to actually leave some space in between jumps if you want to turn. Now we just head straight across here. Continue downwards. There are going to be some switches down here. Symbols for pieces of the sun and the moon. And we're going to have to turn it to make the light go through. So we're going to rotate once to the right, and then once to the right. And that is that. Now we get out of here to the other half of the temple. This is an absolutely wonderful game, and we're so happy that we learned the run. It's just an absolutely amazing run. So this is where it's 1 to the left, and then 2 to the right, and then 2 to the left, and then 180. There's the moon. And now we make this one the sun. Sun and moon's everywhere in this temple. Music is so good. Everything just sets up the atmosphere. And they're creating such a great atmosphere. And the story hidden about makes us want to dig so much into the story. And we're so glad that we're doing this submission, because it made us study the story for 5 to 10 hours, which just feels so good to understand it on a level that we never would have otherwise. Occasionally we just find a game that's truly impressive, and this is one of them. So now we're going to go through this aqueduct, and there's going to be another slide here, the only other one that we're going to do in this run. And now we need to go to the left and make sure not to fall. Rotate the bridge once more, and on the other side, we'll have half of the temple done. Everything in this temple comes in pairs, the sun and the moon. Two ramps which need to fall, and here's the first, the moon. And now we go to get the sun. In this room, there are 5 switches that we must hit to open the door. After this one, we're going to jump onto the tree's root and use that as a platform to skip going all the way around. There's one switch directly in front of the door, so we're going to grab that one last. Sometimes jumping is just hard. Especially in a no reset situation. We'd much rather be able to tell the tale of this game and provide excellent commentary rather than trying to save an extra 30 seconds. Makes for a much better show. Here we are at the top of the center of the room, and that is the 4th light. And the last one is directly in front of the door. That was an entirely unintentional clip up. And with this, we unlock the door to the sun's side. And with this, we unlock the path to Twilight Guardian. The Twilight Guardian opened her eyes at the light of the sun and the moon shining together. She sat down calmly and took both in her hands, sky hands, bringing balance to the light and the shadow. She is the heartbeat of the seasons, the center of the world, the breath of life and order. Sitting at the border of dusk and dawn, ensuring safe travel on the paths to the lands of dreams and back again. And you can see beautiful, beautiful hands with the sun and moon. And she gives you the last of those 3 pieces. 3 pieces of the creator And now we have all three. And now she crumbles because this was her last tie to this world. Now we must go to the lighthouse. I absolutely love the fish jumping in the background too. That really makes that cutscene. The void is waking up and growing stronger now. It's taking a stronger form. Now we must go to the lighthouse. The lighthouse where Kara prayed. And there we will put the three pieces of the Creator together. We will make the three fragments whole again. At the place where the gods first woke up and walked the lands. Here we get to show off another neat mechanic. The winds that you see can actually push you and make you go faster. This is the only place where we get to do it in the speedrun. It's a really cool little boost. And through this cloud will take us directly to the lighthouse. So we get to fly through a cloud once more. And there it is, the lighthouse. The settlement of the people of the sky. And with that, we put the three pieces of the Creator together and make them whole again. And with this will unlock the Creator's shrine in the center of the world, a place where the void has been sealed away. A beam of light will point directly to it. This was a monolith that appeared during the cataclysmic Great Divide. And from there, cracks started appearing in the world. And now is our time to go there, making the same pilgrimage that Kara made. And the beam of light will point directly there. We are playing mouse and keyboard in the underworld and controller on the overworld. We want to go a bit high so we don't bonk. And in here, we'll very soon learn that the lantern light is a memory of Kara, and that we are of Kara's blood. Once the Creator infused Kara with some of his light, his hopes and dreams, his power, at the time of the Great Divide. This power is yours too. It has saved you from the void's touch. This cave leads to a door, which leads to the realm between our world and eternity. This is where you will find the void. You must finish what the Creator started, and make whole. You must finish what the Creator started, and make whole what was shattered. And the entire game so far, you've been trying to make the three pieces of the Creator whole. And Kara understands making the Creator whole on a completely different level. Kara was infused with some of the Creator's light. So not only have we brought those three pieces together, we're going to be bringing the light from Kara and the void all together. Kara is the only person who understands that making the Creator whole again involves merging the void back into the Creator. the void that the creator ripped out of himself. It's an absolutely beautiful, beautiful ending, and one which we did not fully understand until we did our 5 to 10 hours of research for the script. I read the entire script. Absolutely wonderful. A very, very powerful story about healing. Your arm is about to be infused with carriage light, infused with some of the light of the creator. And beyond that door, you will face the void. And you must make the creator whole again. Not simply prevent the void from destroying the world by destroying the void. You will prevent the void from destroying the world by making the creator whole again. And here's the very last part of the game. At the end of this bridge will be time, and the cutscene, the endgame cutscene. Here you face the void. The void has grown more powerful. It has taken on a form. It hits into the creator's light. Absorbs, and now it absorbs some light, and the creator is whole again. One final touch to end this beautiful game and beautiful story. So thank you everybody so much for watching. We hope you all enjoyed this game as much as we do. We hope you find the world to be absolutely beautiful. We hope you enjoy the lore, and we hope that we have done a good job of telling the tale of this world for all of you. We did it. We actually did it. We actually did it. That was sick. That was sick. We did it.